Welcome to Life Rebounding. Thank you for joining me today as we look at the priceless Lamb of God based on Isaiah 53. And today we're looking at the inverted lamb. And it's based on the second part of verse 9, which says, "Though he had done no violence, nor was any deceit in his mouth." Now we're reminded from the earlier part of this verse that he was assigned a grave with the wicked, by the wicked. But it didn't stay that way. It ended up that he ended up in a rich man's grave, the grave that Joseph had purchased for himself. That was God's assignment for him. Man wanted to put him in a wicked man's grave, but Joseph put him in a rich man's grave. And as Jesus would rise from the dead, he would remind us of how the values of God's kingdom are inverted from the values of this world that we live in. Such as, it's in poverty that we're rich. That's part of what Jesus taught us. We're taught that it's in our weakness that we're made strong. It's in the acknowledging of our weakness. And that we may be fools in the eyes of the world, but wise in the eyes of God. And that, like Jesus, we might be rejected by the world, but we recognize through the gospel message that we are adored and desired by God. The one despised and rejected by men was assigned a grave with the wicked, but he turns the tables and provides the richest of blessings. And one of the rich blessings is a word called grace that's given to us. And that word grace reminds us that Jesus got what he didn't deserve. He didn't deserve to die on the cross. He didn't deserve the punishment of a sinful, guilty person. But he took it voluntarily on our behalf so that he could bear the weight and the consequences of our sin and set us free. So that word grace reminds us that he got what he didn't deserve so that we wouldn't get what we deserve. And what we deserved was the punishment he got and took. Instead, we get forgiveness and the opportunity for reconciliation with God and life eternal. The kind of life that God had in mind for us in fellowship with him in the beginning in the Garden of Eden. What we see with this word grace is that though we didn't get what we deserve, as a result, the despised, rejected, unwanted, unloved, unaccepted, broken people such as we are given a king's reward. I want to give you an encouragement today. Just like there were people who wanted to bring Jesus down to their level, there are people who want to bring you down to their level as well. And I want to challenge you to not listen to them, to not participate in the game that they play, but listen to the Lamb instead, who inverts the values of this world so that he can lift you up, because he died to make you a child of the King. May we live in that royal legacy today as children of the King.